Hello and welcome back to Movie Health Community, the internet's #1 source of health warnings at the movies. As always, please keep in mind that nothing we produce is medical advice, nor has any of it been reviewed by any medical professionals. This is a video I did not expect I would be making at all, but it's just something I have to talk about. Ted is a new TV series airing on Peacock, produced by Seth MacFarlane, about the adventures of Ted the vulgar teddy bear, his buddy John Bennett, and their relationship with certain drugs. This series, though, takes us back into the 90s, so we have a younger Mark Wahlberg character. But before we talk about whether this series is any good, let's talk about whether it's safe. The answer is yes! Ted is almost completely safe for photosensitive audiences. The only strobe effect in the Ted TV series happens in the 5th episode, titled Desperately Seeking Susan, where somebody walks off the set into the basement. A few seconds later, there is one brief strobe effect as the lights flicker out. Outside of that one strobe effect in the 5th episode, there is nothing in terms of physical health hazards when it comes to the Ted TV series. Mental health may be a little bit of a longer story. This has Ted going to school, and so there's quite a bit of schoolyard bullying. There are jokes that have homophobic roots. We'll talk about that in a minute. There are jokes that deal with suicide and eating disorders and incest and just about any disturbing topic that you can think of. Almost all of them, there's a joke made about it somewhere. There are a couple of scenes of adult characters acting super creepy around children or minors or otherwise much younger characters. But this show does a really good job in making that technically not predatory, but still creepy in most of the cases. And yeah, that just brings me around to, is this series any good? The thing that this series does the best is it deals with humor that we would consider inappropriate in our current culture and finds an expert way to do about it. I'm talking Blazing Saddles level of expert. I'm talking Tropic Thunder level of expert. And as one example, there are 3 moments in these 7 episodes where somebody's joke goes too far and makes somebody cry. And in all 3 of these moments, there is a full acknowledgement that, okay, if your joke makes someone cry, it's not funny. And the people making the jokes accept it. And that's just such a healthy attitude to have about inappropriate humor. There is one character who is so entrenched in traditional values that he is very homophobic, he's everything phobic, he's basically just scared of any change. And even though there's very little progress, there's still progress. There's still an arc for his character. He learns lessons and is a better person at the end of these 7 episodes than he is at the beginning of these 7 episodes. With the lead actor, I absolutely believe that this kid grows up to be Mark Wahlberg later on. This kid did so good. The whole family did great, and this show did a really great job dissecting the family sitcom of the 90s and using that formula to make some really good points, especially when it comes to humor. But one of the biggest praises I have to give with this show, like I've watched probably more Family Guy than I need to, more American Dad than I need to. I feel like I'm pretty familiar with Seth MacFarlane's comedic style. This show had some genuine surprises, like so many moments where you could sit me in a room for hours trying to predict what's going to happen at the end of this episode, and I'll never be able to do it. That's something that The Simpsons has historically done really well. Have a episode begin and you have no idea where it's going to be by the end of it. I have to say, I don't really have any complaints about this series. So obviously, since this is a TV series, it's not going to show up on any countdown list at the end of the year, but screw it. I'm going to give Ted the TV series an A+. Thank you so much to our readers on Tumblr and Facebook, and as always, an extra special thanks to our patrons over on our Patreon page whose names are scrolling across the screen like credits right now. Be sure to leave a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when we post new videos, and as always, Stay safe at the movies and on TV.